Now, electromagnetic induction lesson 7. In previous lessons, we saw induced EMF by changing the magnitude of B. That is, when a magnet was moving towards a coil or the coil was moving towards the magnet, the EMF was induced. And we also saw the induced EMF by changing area in previous lessons. And the EMF was equal to BLV. It depends how the conductor moves, not that always. Then the third one, induced EMF by changing theta. This we will do in AC generator in a different chapter called alternating current. Since I explain you once more, since flux is equal to B dot A, number of magnetic lines of force crossing an area normally. So it was defined as BA cos theta, and why it was defined as BA cos theta, that was also explained. By taking dot product of B and A, the lines of force becomes normal to the area. Now let us come to induced EMF in a conducting rod rotated in a uniform magnetic field. Look at the diagram, look at the figure. Very simple. These red crosses indicate the magnetic field lines are into the plane of the paper, into. It is uniform because the distance between each cross from here to here is same thing as from here to here, here to here. Therefore, it is uniform. Means if you consider an unit area here, whatever the number of lines of force passing through will be equal to, if you consider a unit area here, and the number of lines of force passing through will be same. That is, the field is uniform and is into the plane of the paper. B is into the plane of the paper. From P to Q is a conductor whose length is L. From P to Q is L. This conductor is rotating in this magnetic field in this direction, anti-clockwise. It can rotate clockwise also. Let omega its angular velocity. Let omega its angular velocity. When it is at PQ, don't look at P dash Q dash. When it is at PQ, it has not created any area. Because it is just a conductor. It has no breadth, just a linear thing, object. PQ. When it goes from Q to Q dash, P being fixed, when it is rotating like this, when the conductor is rotating like this, it is creating area. Suppose it reaches from Q to Q dash in time dt, making angle d theta here at the center. Let angle QPQ dash is equal to d theta. Or you can say theta. dt is equal to time for Q to reach Q dash. So when PQ rotates from PQ to PQ dash, it creates this much area, this area, QPQ dash. And through that area, these lines of force, these magnetic lines of force are passing normally. So there is a flux. And if it rotates further, if Q dash arrives here, the area has increased. So the number of lines of force passing through the area has increased. So the flux has increased. Means there is a change of flux, so there will be EMF. So now, theta will be, theta or d theta. I have taken it this angle as d theta will be this arc QQ dash over PQ. So cross multiplying QQ dash, the length of this arc QQ dash will be d theta cross multiplying into PQ, d theta L. Now, if Q dash is very close to Q, PQ, if Q dash is very close to Q, means if dt is very small, then the situation will be like this. This is P, this is Q. Q dash. If Q dash is very close to Q, this angle is d theta, and this length QQ dash is equal to L d theta. Then this can be considered as a triangle. If Q dash is very close to Q, QPQ dash can be considered as a triangle. So its area will be, A will be half base into height. Half base from P to Q is L. Height is L d theta. L d theta. So is equal to half L square d theta. Half L into L square d theta. So the flux is equal to B A cos theta. Theta is 0. So half L square d theta. B half L square d theta. So initially there was no flux. Now once the area is created, this much area is created through which some lines of force are passing. Therefore the flux is increasing. So EMF is equal to d phi by dt. Phi we have calculated. Derivative of this, B half L square comes out constant. B half L square comes out constant. We are left with d theta by dt. How the angle is changing with respect to time is nothing but your angular velocity omega. So your EMF is equal to half B L square omega. But don't think, whenever the conductor rotates in a magnetic field, there will be EMF. Not always. Depends on how the rod PQ is rotating. If you look here, when here magnetic field is into, PQ is rotating in a horizontal plane like this. So all the lines of force passing through this area, circular area which is created, all the lines of force passing through this area normally. If PQ, instead of rotating in a horizontal plane, if it rotates in a vertical plane, like this, then it will create an area in the vertical plane. This area is this way and this area is to this side, and magnetic field is into. So angle between the area vector and magnetic field is 90, then the flux is 0. So it is creating area if this rod PQ rotates in a vertical plane like this. In a vertical plane like this, then it is creating area. But theta is 90 degrees. So the flux is equal to 0. That is what you have to imagine. So here B is into the plane of the paper, PQ is rotating in a horizontal plane, so theta is 0, so flux is maximum. If V is into the plane of the paper and PQ is rotating in a vertical plane, then theta is 90, then flux is 0, so no EMF. If PQ is rotating in some other orientation, then theta will have some value and there will be some flux, so there will be EMF. So note that this is always true. EMF is half BL omega square. You have to check whether it is creating an area and through that area some lines of force passing through, and the number of lines of force passing through the area changes, that is flux changes, therefore there is EMF.